review it, episode 1, Dr. Stone. Was it interesting? I think it's very interesting. I like it the right way that it's like the scientific stuff, right? Like on the, I'm a STEM guy, basically. I'm an engineer, or I am an engineer, but I don't work much in engineering. But yeah, so I always loved, physics and chemistry and so on. And about 10 years ago, I worked as a high school teacher, as a consultant, and then when I didn't have any gigs, whatever you call it. I did some teach high school as well. So I was doing like science and math at high school. So it's right down my alley. Actually, my grandfather that really kind of raised me a little bit as a mainly. My grandfather actually was just a science and a history teacher. So so that's kind of from my. So this is definitely kind of in my wheelhouse here. Yeah, I think it's very interesting seeing him like, oh, this is how we do acid and this style is thing and the wine can, yeah. So I love it. That was interesting to me. And I'm hoping it's gonna be more of that. I guess it's gonna civilize. They're gonna rebuild civilization. So I look forward to seeing that. It's gonna be awesome. Otherwise, I mean, the anime gives a lot of different, how I say it, a lot of different questions, right? Okay, so birds for some reason are being petrified because all the other animals seem to be fine. The dog and the pigs and so on. The wolves, they were fine, but specifically little tiny birds. The pigeons, they're frozen before humans, so for some reason they were very weak against the petrification. But it's clearly gonna be a mystery about that thing. It does remind me, but it kind of gives this the same feeling to like a zombie or a type of right, where I mean that you have this like, okay, the world is destroyed, right? Everything in the world has been destroyed. And there's something they did it, yeah. And someone did it. And we're gonna try to figure out eventually who is behind, this travesty of the world we're living in. That's kind of how I feel in that sense. Typically with those kind of zombies, or like if you've seen, I think I titled the recent episodes, right, the recent season, kind of the discovery. So I'm guessing that this anime is gonna go in a similar manner because in my experience from watching other animes, reading manga and so on, I very much doubt, right, that this, petrification wave was an accident. Someone probably did it, right? Yeah, so I think that's a major thing for me. That I would guess that from appearance alone, right? Also, he mentioned that this guy looks like a badass. The guy with long, beautiful hair, right? Kind of had a similar. He had like a Nikali look to me in Street Fighter. Yeah, Nikali or like Argon and Ashita 1 and so on. They have that kind of hairstyle, the longer kind of. Yeah, you're always evil. Those guys are always evil. Okay. That is anime 101, right? If you have dreads and so on, you're always evil. So he's clearly gonna be an evil guy, like a muscular evil guy. He's clearly gonna be a bad person. Maybe the main bad person, I don't know. But I'm gonna guess that guy is probably the bad guy for season 1, right? Where we have whoever did like whoever did that thing can't be him. He's also petrified. So I'm thinking that he's gonna be a bad guy. And then it's gonna be someone someone else, right? That's gonna be the real bad guy that's behind everything. That would be my guess. That's probably not. I haven't read the manga, but I don't know if it's known or not in the manga. I'm just guessing that that's probably gonna be like a later bad guy, right? Someone is behind everything. If it's I would be extremely surprised if it's like a natural thing happening. Yeah, hard time seeing that happening. And that being said, if you have ever seen other. It's hard talking about spoiling, right? But like the 100, it reminds me of the Last Man. It reminds me a lot of where a man suddenly is the only man alive, and everything just crashes, everything burns down. But yeah, but in many other TV shows and so on, not animes, generally, what happens usually, right, in those kind of shows, and I'm guessing it's gonna be the same thing here. I'm just throwing it out, but they are clearly gonna build up their own city, right, civilization. And this guy, probably a bad guy, might betray them and so on. But all that being said, I think it's gonna be pretty similar to like the Walking Dead and Zombies, right? They have their own city, right? And then someone probably someone over here, right, is also probably gonna be free, right? Because there's no reason why these two guys, I mean, they have the cave, of course, the cave with the bat gunner, but there's no reason why they would be the only two person being set free, right, by time, so to speak. Why couldn't anyone, they're living in Japan, right? So why couldn't anyone like in America be free? Someone in Europe, someone in Africa, Australia? It's my point, yeah. So I very, very much doubt that these two guys are going to be the only two people being, and the people around them being set free, right? It might be another civilization, right? Another country, right? Another continent, yeah. So that is probably gonna be a storyline bit, I would guess, that they have to fight with other cities or countries, right? Eventually, people are building up some other stuff, you know, maybe even in Japan, right? Probably because it has a kind of conflict. Or the bad guys, I guess. Whoever's gonna be the bad guy is probably gonna set free other people, yes, right? They're gonna fight them and so on. But even so, it should be other humans as well free eventually, right? Or maybe even before them. As you said, the acid thing. Maybe someone is, you know, in Europe, which is more acid and, you know, it's faster. So I think that's gonna be a story bit. It feels like the end goal of the anime should be to kind of, how do I cure everyone at the same time? Maybe. But it's interesting anime. I like the I'll say the scientific setting of it. Yeah, it's different than other anime. I have to say, it actually reminds me very much of Promise Never in that sense. Yeah, they used the other recent shonen anime, right? In that sense, because they're like intelligent kids, you know, doing intelligent stuff, thinking about stuff, planning stuff, research stuff. It actually, funny enough, reminds me the most of anything, in a way, of actually Promised Neverland. In that part, not like the surviving petrification versus in the spoiled Neverland, but you know what I mean, the end of the story there, right? Yeah, they're not actually, it's a little similar, but yeah, not that similar in the premise, but it's still, you know, they're still kind of similar when it comes to like, okay, we have a brainy main character. OS contender, I don't know. Probably hard to say for me right now. Of course, it's one episode. I like the whole setting, but I see the weird ghost fight. It's gonna be battle. I mean, I'm guessing it's very hyped. So I'm assuming it's gonna be some cool stuff happening, and I'm guessing it's gonna be some wars between people, right? I am thinking, will they get powers? They have this thing in their faces, maybe, right? It's a shonen anime, right? So I'm thinking that maybe they can develop some kind of, I don't know, Dr. Stone throwing. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be pure science. And they will fight with just, you know, better stuff and better spears and so on. Inventing the gun again, I can shoot someone. Maybe, I guess. That could be really interesting. Like, oh, this guy is our enemy. We have to like build weapons, right? We have to like recraft weapons so we can fight the other country and so on. That's very interesting. Or otherwise, they might go the shonen route and have, you know, powers, right? So they can develop some powers or something. But it feels like it's going more the crafting route. Something like that. And let's talk about the art and so on. So the animation style, great, right? They had high quality. The opening especially looked really good. I remember old people. I remember MacGyver. I even remember how MacGyver ended. Okay? I even know how MacGyver ended with Richard Dean Anderson. He, of course, he also played SG, Soviet Atlantic, Soviet, you know, so on right there. MacGyver actually ends with him meeting his son. Yeah, spoiler, last like episode 212 that is. He meets his son that he never raised, but apparently he's like some, you know, flirt MacGyver had in China somewhere, but he's white though, but he goes to China. He has like cool son that he meets then in the last episode. There's no build up for it. He meets him in the last episode, and then he saves his life, and then he's like, yeah, let's be, you know, father and son. And then it ends, but he's like raise his son now. That's how MacGyver ends actually. That's how old I am. I still remember how MacGyver ends. But yeah, definitely fits similar to MacGyver. Good point. Didn't think about it, but yeah, he's building stuff. He's you know, he's trying to invent stuff. He's trying to figure out and so on. But I'm thinking that they need some conflict, right? That's what I would say the most. Like in lacking this episode just sets up the world, right? They need some conflict. So I'm obviously the guy with the long hair, clearly evil. I mean, that's so obvious to me because I'm evil. No, but it's always like that in anime. You don't have that hairstyle if you're not evil. Find me a character with that hairstyle that is not evil in anime. It doesn't exist. That guy is always evil. He has dreads. It's like all gone right. Evil, always evil. So that's what I would say could be it's. I don't want to say it's. But I would say it's concern. But I would say that would be one thing I could say, maybe that's going to work out because they need to fight someone. They need some conflict, yeah. But anyway, also the art and so on was great. The opening, as I mentioned, looks amazing. I'm obviously going to listen to it a few times over. was it the best opening yet? I would say it's the best animated opening, like quality-wise, this season so far. I still say the best opening is Dumble. If you heard Dumble yet, then that is such a catchy opening. You can have it on repeat for hours. It's amazing catchy. I think the song was not as good as in Dumble, but the animation was absolutely the best animated opening so far. Easily. But we have like 10 or 50 more animes to go through though, so yeah, you know. But very, very good, and generally the color setting is almost very good. Yes, I have Wano opening tomorrow, so Wano opening is probably gonna win for me, hopefully One Piece. Anyways, hope you guys liked the review and live reaction to the break here, and then we're having Fire Squad. It should be out in an hour from now. That's probably in Japanese though, and I usually watch the first episode with text, so I don't miss anything. I don't know, I can understand Japanese pretty good. But yeah, so in 1.5 hours probably then. I think that's probably when Fire Force is out, right? You can see it here. I need to go quickly see there. I think the Crunchyroll show right, yeah. I think it's having Crunchyroll in. Hopefully they have the... Yeah. So unfortunately they haven't updated their schedule yet. But I think it's 1.5 hour, then we're live streaming Fire Force, the next shonen anime. So Friday's gonna be super full, right? Because we have so many animes. Today we have 2 new shonen animes, 2 new comedy animes. If you've seen them yet, but for those 2, I actually really liked the whole Arabaro Kisetsu comedy anime watched before them with girls exploring grown-up stuff. Yeah, demonization videos. Yeah, and next week we have both isekais with Danmansai, isekai-ish, and of course Mamako. So Friday is gonna be like 6 reaction videos every day, every Friday something from next week. So anyway, hope at live reaction. See you guys hopefully soon in with Fire Force and no Shubutai in 1.5 hours from now. So anyway, have a good day, and I see you.